Right, this is PSLE revision questions. We are looking at the two questions for today. This is from Booklet 2, revision Booklet 2. We are looking at exercise 3, question 3 and 4 from page 6. Let's take a look at the two questions here, the short answer questions. The first one on area of squares. A wire of total length of 40 centimeter is used to form two squares. The bigger square has an area of 49 square centimeters. Find the length of one side of the smaller squares. So in other words, I have a long wire of up to 40 centimeter. Certainly part of the wire, a bigger portion of the wire is cut and bent into the bigger square, which is 49 square centimeter, and the smaller part here is twist and formed and made into a smaller square of an unknown dimension. So you realize that we actually need the parameters of the squares to get to the full length of the wire is 40 centimeters, because you're using the wire to bend and make two squares. That actually refers to the parameter. So in this case, I have the bigger square as the clue. So I have to figure out what are the two numbers that when I multiply together, it will give me 49 square centimeters as its area, because area is length multiplied by length. Okay, for a square, or length times breadth for a square. So in this case, you should be able to get that is 7. So I have 7 and 7. So I'm looking at, because we talk about this portion of the wire being used to make, let me highlight it in blue so you can see better. This portion of the wire is used to make bend. You can see how I'm tracing the outline. Bend to make that square. So we are looking at the perimeter of the bigger square that is part of the wire. That will be 4 times 7, which means 28 centimeters. Now, up to this point, this whole thing is 28 centimeter, meaning the perimeter of the smaller square, or the shorter part of the wire, will be 40 centimeter. 40 centimeter is the whole. 40 centimeter minus 28 centimeter, which will give 12 centimeter. Okay, then the next question is the length of the side. Now, knowing that this is the parameter, we know that it will be length plus length plus length plus length. So if you want to know one length, you have to take the parameter divided by 4, because the parameter here is made of 4 lengths. So I have 12 divided by 4. That makes 3 centimeter a side for this smaller square. Okay, so that's the question. That's the answer for question 3. This is page 6 again, exercise 3, question 3 and 4. Right? Okay. Question 4 on exercise 3, page 6, short answer questions, PSLE booklet 2. We are looking at postal rates and we are looking at step rates here. It says here step rate, meaning you have like a staircase. The rate changes. It's not a uniform or constant rate for all masses when you're posting. Two places here, one is Indonesia and one is Australia. They have different rates for posting items, in this case letters, to the two countries. Let's take a look at the story here. Sharon posted a letter weighing 46 grams to Indonesia, and then Another one that's 18 grams to Australia. And the question requires you to find out what is it altogether. So I'll deal with the question starting off with Indonesia first, then with Australia. If you look at this, and if I have to talk about it in a staircase manner, this is 0 grams, like a weighing scale for the case of Indonesia. Starting at 0, if I weigh something and it's up to the point of the first 20, so this is 20 grams. The first 20 grams, when it reaches 20 grams, I have to pay 70 cents. Okay, first 20 cents, 70 cents. Now, after that, for every 10 grams additional, it will be 25 cents. Now, meaning the next plus 10 grams, you will mean plus another 25 cents. If I plus 10 grams here, that makes a total of 30 grams. For Indonesia, I must reach 46. Then from 10 grams, I add another 10 grams. So 20, 30, 40. I reach 40, that I add another 25 cents. Now, however, at this point, 20, 10, 10 is only 40 grams. That means I still need to go in for another 10 grams because it's still more than 40 grams. So I need to pay another amount for the next step, which at this point, I step up to the next rate 20, 10, 30, 40, 50, because 46 is within the next plus 10. So here's another 25 cents. So this is the amount for Indonesia. 25 cents per 25 cents is 50 cents, 50 cents plus another 25 cents, 75 cents, 70 cents plus 75 cents, that makes $1.45. Okay, going to Australia. In the case of Australia, it's also in steps rates. So starting with 0 grams, the first 20 grams will be $1.30. If I have another additional within plus 10 grams, that will mean an additional plus 0.35. But let's take a look at this. This is 18 grams. So 18 grams is within 0 grams to 20 grams. So 18 grams may be here. It falls within the first 20 grams already. So I actually do not need to step up at all for the Australia, okay, because it's 18 grams. So in the end, we will have to add up the two quantities, which is these two. So altogether will be, the Indonesia letter will be $1.45 plus $1.30 for the one in Australia. That makes the postage a total of $2.75. All right, so this is the short answer questions on this page of the PSLE practice booklet 2.